Hello, hello.
Hi.
Yes, I was there.
Okay, so you have perhaps done the homework, which was just really to think about what makes you smile, what makes you happy, and do you always smile just when you're happy? What other occasions might you smile? So, Marco, perhaps perhaps you could kick off and give us a few of your experiences or your ideas about what makes you smile.
Yes, okay. First of all, I, I'm smiling or I'm laughing when I'm happy. Um, it's, um, it's something what is like when I'm happy, I smile. Everything is so nice and. But I also laughing something, smiling or laughing when something is really a laugh. I don't know when something is really funny or something similar. When I'm watching something, or I don't know if it's maybe it is directly connected with the happiness, but uh, also when I spot some really funny um, movement of someone else outside or something like it, I could restrain of laughing.
Okay, so Marco, what do you find funny then? What sort of jokes do you find
Oh, jokes. Okay.
funny when you're watching TV? What sort of comedy? Because there's a lot of different things that people find funny. So
Uh,
what's
okay.
and I don't want lots. I just want what do you think is the funniest for you?
Funniest. I yes, I recently watched what I recently watched maybe as you recommended me going straight. I watched few episodes and it was really funny. I was laughing a lot, but I can't. Maybe what is the most I can't remember right now, but maybe it's can be like kind of jokes uh, which I laughing at. I don't know. Maybe right now what is the most, but it's kind of humor which I like. Maybe yes.
Okay, I'll tell you the film that I found maybe the funniest was Full Monty. And I remember crying I was laughing so much, I was almost crying because I found it so funny. But for me, the reason why it was perhaps more funny than for many people was because I actually have a cousin who lives in the area where they filmed The Full Monty and whose situation was a little bit similar. He was out of work and he was about the same age and even looked a little bit like one of the characters. So when I was watching this film, I was thinking of this cousin, and that made me laugh even more. So sometimes things are funnier to a person for a personal reason. Yeah. Okay, Mohit, you have joined us. Yes. I can't see you. You're not showing. So okay. So you're having to oh dear. Nidhi, what about you? What makes you laugh?
Okay, you are asking about laugh, not smile.
Yes. Not smile. I'm asking you what makes you laugh.
Okay, I laugh most whenever I sit with my friends and with family, my brothers, and we have a chit chat like we discuss some funny things, and whenever we tease someone or mostly I do this kinds of things. Like my brother is very much afraid of lizard, so I just throw anything, small things over him, and I said, "Oh, lizard!" Then he got afraid, and then we start laughing. So often I do these kinds of things to tease my brothers and my friends, and it's make me laugh most.
Okay, so it's interaction that makes you laugh. But what about smiling? Do you smile a lot? And if you do,
Yeah,
when do you
yeah.
smile? What are you smiling at?
Smile first of
Yeah,
at your home or whenever there is an acquaintance. So it's a courtesy that you should smile, because it sends a message that you feel happy to meet that person. And whenever you recollect some your past memories, happy memories, then suddenly a smile comes at your face if you have a good moment in your life. So, and some jokes that not so funny, but yeah, they can give you a simple short smile on your face.
Okay, that's a very good point that you've raised, actually, Nidhi. Thank you. Because you say meeting people. Now, from what we've been talking about in the last two sessions, we've talked about how some smiles, when you're meeting people, don't necessarily reflect that you are smiling from happiness, but maybe you're smiling because it's your boss and you feel that you need to smile at them to show that you are ready to serve and that you are not challenging
Yeah.
them in a way. Or maybe it's somebody who is inferior and you are smiling in, maybe it might not even be necessarily conscious, but we call it patronizing. Do you understand what patronizing means?
Yeah, patronizing means that you are faithful to that person, something like that.
Not quite, not quite. And Marco,
Obey.
it's close to the submission, but it's not. It's almost like the opposite. It's like you feel that you are superior to them. So you're being nice to them, but it's like a patron is like a somebody like a father figure. Okay, so you're being nice to them, but in a sort of fatherly sort of way, and that person might not like that very much, or they might, but it's not on like you're on an equal footing. Yeah. If I talk about an equal footing, do you understand what I mean by equal footing? A foot,
Equal position.
equal
Stand
foot.
on same level.
Yeah, the same level. Yeah. So when somebody is patronizing, it means that they are looking from a higher level down at you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are being horrible or mean or nasty or anything, but it's just that they are, well, they just think that they are better than you. Yeah. Okay. Hi there, Dope. So we're talking about what makes you smile, what makes you laugh. So, Dope, what do you find funny? What do you laugh at?
Mm, I think it's a little bit difficult because it's always changing with my age. Actually, maybe a few years ago, I have think I consider think funny for me, but now it's not. I just don't know how to answer on this question properly.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. So, do you smile much, Dope? Do you actually smile very much?
Yeah, I try my best to do it.
Okay, you see, you sound like you're. Now, the thing is, are you smiling now out of amusement because you're happy, or because you're embarrassed and shy? And I'm asking you a difficult question.
Oh no, I'm not embarrassed. I just have found a way how to be happy. Actually, it
Okay,
doesn't depend on
so
motive.
This sounds like you are being a very stereotypical Russian. If I dare be general here, because Russian people, I find, often are very serious. But then I find once you get past this little wall that they sometimes put up, then they laugh as much as everybody else. So maybe Artem, it's because you're a bit shy. Is that true?
Maybe, I don't know. It's up to you. I don't
Okay.
consider myself like shy.
I think maybe that's why. So you see, smiling then is going to be more of a reaction that is, you're smiling because you are not presenting any threat or challenge to the person, and maybe you're a little bit embarrassed, yeah? Okay. We don't have Shiny with us, and I think this session is a little bit late for her because the last few sessions she's actually been lying on her bed by the time we've started talking. But interestingly, the Japanese are more likely to smile less with their mouth and more with their eyes, and they don't usually smile as much as perhaps some of the rest of us do. Okay, Edward, what makes you laugh?
It makes me laugh when I remember something silly, or memories that pops in my head, or like some flashbacks what I did before. It depends what kind of funny memories I have in my mind, and then when I
So
did
sorry
something
to
terribly
interrupt you,
wrong.
but does that mean that sometimes you will smile or laugh just because you've remembered something funny? So, I mean, what do you do this on your own, or do you do this when you are with other people?
Some both, because I cannot control what I'm when I remember something. I just cover my mouth because it's very funny moment that I cannot even hide it in front of people that I don't know, and it usually on front of my friends, uh, and that's all. And another thing that makes me laugh when I did something trouble, like I made I make a mistake, but not but in deep inside, it's the it's not very it's not very funny at all. But I feel funny when I did something terrible.
Okay, well, that's interesting because that's something I was thinking of when I remember that the number of times the teacher says to the student that they are telling off, take that smile off your face. Yeah. So the teacher is telling off the student for doing something wrong. And all the teacher gets back is a smile, which is not what the teacher wants. A little bit like the example I gave you last week, where I was arguing with the motorists in the streets in Kathmandu, who were smiling after I said, "But you're trying to kill me." Yeah, because they were just embarrassed at me scolding them. Yeah. Okay, Mohammed, are you able to speak to us?
Yeah, Marianne.
Yeah,
Actually,
so Mohammed, what makes you smile?
smile. Uh, when I am happy, that time I smile, and when I see the children, to do some funny thing, and if that thing remind me my childhood age, that time I smile. I do smile.
Okay, so like Edward, you smile at the memory of
Yeah,
things in the past that made you happy or you found funny. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting because I don't think I've ever really thought of things in the past that make me smile again. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. So what makes you happy then? Because that's a bit different. What
Yeah.
makes you really happy?
What makes me happy? When my family is happy with my performance or anything else that I have done good, and when I score a good marks in exam, that time that make me happy. And anything that I completed my homework, this type of thing, anything that completed my homework on the particular time that is given by the teacher, this type of thing.
Yeah, I get you with that one because I know I always feel happy if I meet a deadline. I feel quite satisfied, but more than just satisfied, I feel happy. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Is it Hernand? I can't see the names completely because it's all scrunched up on my screen. It's Hernan, is it? Are you able to speak?
Yes, Marianne.
Yeah, so
How are you?
Hernan, what?
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So what makes you smile?
What makes me smile? Uh, well, I think, I mean, a lot of things. Uh, Bad thoughts, probably.
Bad
Usually,
thoughts.
yes, naughty thoughts if you want. But
Ooh.
no, no, not only that. I mean, I could laugh, I could smile just as someone was saying, remembering anecdotes or things like that, of course. And if something happens, I don't need to be with anyone in order to share my thoughts. And maybe I just imagine something funny because I just saw something that triggers my mind somehow. So I can imagine a situation from that point on or something like that, and I could just smile sometimes. And what else?
Yeah. No, I
Um,
mean, I know what you mean.
it's not easy to describe, but yes, some beside the ordinary things. Sometimes this is maybe curious. I think a lot about some of my beloved ones, the ones I still have with me, and sometimes the ones I don't, like my grandfather, for instance. He was really a funny guy and bad temper too, hot. I mean, short temper and things like that too. But and sometimes I just have to witness the situation, and I imagine him with me right there, and I can almost hear his voice and his thoughts about that. So sometimes that makes me laugh because I imagine what my grandfather would say if he would be able to see this. And sometimes I just smile or laugh alone. I mean, in front of everyone because I imagine things like that.
Okay, thank you.
You know what?
Has everyone told me? Neville, have you? Can you speak, or are you just listening?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. So, what makes you smile?
Uh, what makes me smile? Anything that can make me smile. Uh, I like the things that we did in the past when we were kids, like bunking off classes and go to play cricket, and going to video game parlors, and uh, like we used to start studying just 1 or 2 days before the examinations and all, and the way we used to fail an exam when we were kids, all these things, when we discuss about these things with my friends and cousins, these things make us laugh.
Okay. So, how many of you then actually smile? Well, I mean, it's interesting because actually, well, I suppose I don't know what I'm going to say here. Huh. What I was going to say is the things that most of you seem to be highlighting as the things that bring a smile to your lips tend to be more memories of happy times in the past. Now, for me, I'm surprised at that because I don't tend to think so much of things in the past. Perhaps I'm smiling more for the present. I think it's impossible to smile for the future. But I, for example, 2 days ago went hiking with a group of people I had never met before. We were a group of 12 representing 9 different nationalities. So it was a really nice mixed group of people. And we were walking along paths up in the rocks above the sea. And we all had silly grins of happiness on our face because it was just so incredibly beautiful. We were in really good company. We had our picnic, we sat down. It was neither too hot or too cold. It couldn't be a more perfect day. So I think all 12 of us were grinning like idiots for most of the day. And even when we missed the train, it wasn't a problem. We just sat down and we were chatting to each other, still smiling. Yeah. So that's the sort of thing that makes me smile. Okay. So Khalid, we haven't heard you tell us about what makes you smile. This is what we've been talking about.
Hello, hello everyone.
So Khalid, what makes you smile?
When I see my sweetheart, when I see the people around me, like my mother, like my friend, like my family, smile. Something related to my religion, you should smile when you meet someone. Okay?
Okay, good. So like Nidhi, when you're with your friends and family, that makes you very happy.
Yeah, and my sweetheart because I'm engagement.
Okay. Well, we've got a few more paragraphs to read. So this will then finish the article about smiling. But to take us back to the article, okay, so the paragraph here, let's see, who would like to read first? Who's going to volunteer? Or shall I pick? Okay, Nidhi, I was going to pick on you if you hadn't been quick enough. Okay, would you like to read?
Okay. Yeah. Contempt smile. Another tricky expression to swallow is the rictus of utter contempt. The contempt smile indicates a mixture of disgust and resentment and is disconcertingly similar to a smile of true delight, except for the corners of the lips, which appear tightened. In East Asian culture, which is less centered around the needs of the individual, negative emotions are often concealed with a smile to maintain social harmony. Where I am from in Indonesia, anger is usually not considered socially acceptable. Instead, people tend to smile a lot when they are angry, says Embedder.
Okay, that's very interesting because that's something I've seen a lot in Asia, that manifesting or displaying your anger is not really culturally acceptable, and people will smile even though they're angry. And it took a while for me to learn that this was
So, what
smile.
they do when they feel happy? If they smile when they feel anger, so what they do when they feel happy?
They smile again. So right at the beginning of that paragraph, Nidhi, we've got another tricky expression, to swallow. What does that mean? To swallow, if you swallow something.
This means that you are not showing your true feelings, you are hiding it.
No, it doesn't. Okay, if I were to say an expression to swallow, If you swallow,
Swallow means
there's,
to have in it you, like we swallow food.
yeah, you swallow food. So this is a phrase that is being used in with a slightly different meaning. So yeah, I think Hernan's got it. Okay, if you swallow something, it means you're accepting something. So if it's difficult to swallow, that means you're having problems actually accepting it. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you swallow something, it's not just food, it can be an idea. Yeah. What is a rictus? It's another
No
word.
idea.
Okay. Anyone?
Some gape in your mouth.
Sorry, what in the mouth?
Gape.
I couldn't catch that. Okay,
Gape.
yeah, Hernan's got it. It's to do with, well, it's another word for a grimace or a look of horror, a fixed grin, which is you're smiling, but it's not. It's like you're afraid. What is contempt? That one's a nice, easy one, Nidhi.
Yeah, contempt means satisfaction.
No, contempt. So CONTEMPT.
Anger.
Not quite. Not quite.
When you are not agree with someone.
No, well, I think contempt is close. You're talking about hatred or disgust with something. Now, what does it mean if we say disconcertingly? I think that was at the end of the paragraph. The end, let's see. No, maybe not the end.
Not concerned. Concerned.
It is
disconcertingly similar to a smile of true delight.
Yes. So what does disconcertingly mean? Something is disconcerting.
Not connected.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's more to do with being confused. So it's disconcerting. If something is disconcerting, it's surprising, or it's something that makes you feel confused. Yeah. Were there any other words there which you weren't sure about? No? Okay. Okay, so we have we've got a couple of maybe Edward, would you like to read this paragraph, please?
Thank you, Marianne. Okay. Angry, enjoyment, smile. Translating roughly as malicious joy. Schadenfreude is the thrill of discovering another's misfortune. For obvious reasons, this deliciously mischievous emotion is best concealed from others, but that's not always easy. If individuals are alone and feel unobserved, they usually express feelings of Schadenfreude by so-called the Shin smiles and the Shin laughs, says Jennifer Hoffman, a psychologist at the University of Zurich. When we know someone's watching, the best we can do is plaster an expression of anger over the top, resulting in the fixed, creepy grin, which has become a staple horror movie villains. This blended expression is just one several smiles with similar formula, such as enjoyable contempt, enjoyable fear, and enjoyable sadness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well done. Okay, so at the top there we have this this very strange word, Schadenfreude, and in fact the paragraph actually explains what that is. Yeah, it says, okay, so malicious joy. You understand what malicious means, yes?
It's like smiling like a villain.
Well, yeah, smiling like a villain. Okay, so malicious is usually something that it's a bit naughty. It's a bit spiteful. It's not very nice to another person. Yeah, so you're smiling at someone else's fortune, and this word Schadenfreude is the same. It means the same thing. It's basically the taking a pleasure out of someone's misfortune. Yeah. Do you ever do that? Is that something that you've ever done? Taking pleasure out of someone else's misfortune?
Oh, of course, all the time.
Oh dear.
I never did that.
I just can't wait myself to sleep.
Okay. Yes, I mean, sometimes you think revenge is sweet, isn't it? When something bad happens to somebody that you feel they deserve it and you can have a laugh about it, yeah? Okay, Edward, what does it mean in the context of this paragraph, deliciously? Because we know what delicious means when we're talking about food, but we're not talking about food here. So what do you understand? For obvious reasons, this deliciously mischievous emotion is best concealed from others.
It's like when done something you want to retaliate, then you will smile.
No, I'm looking for the meaning of deliciously in this context. Okay, I'm just looking at the word, that one word. So what do you understand by that one word in the way it's being used here?
It's the emotion like it's very very delighted.
Yes.
in doing bad things, I guess.
Yeah. It's something which is seen as enjoyable, like a food which is really nice. It's enjoyable, and we talk about it being delicious. But we can also talk about a situation or something like that being delicious too. Okay, rictus. I think we already had this. Rictus. How much were you paying attention?
A grimace.
Sorry?
A grimace. I see
Yes,
it in the.
yes, a grimace. Yeah, I think we already had that. For some reason, I'm having problems here with. Okay, contempt. I think we also may have. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, we've got some of the same vocabulary here. I know why. Sorry. Harmony. What does harmony mean?
Harmony, doing when like example, when one people do something to reunite, or there's a peace between them.
Yes, I think you've got it. Friendly agreement, yeah. And in fact, we can also talk about music being in harmony. And when we are talking about music, we mean that there's nothing out of tune, that maybe the musical instruments are playing in a way that complements each other, so in agreement, yeah. So harmony can be used to talk about music as well as to talk about a situation. And then the last word, malicious. What does malicious actually mean?
Wicked.
It is wicked, but it's got perhaps a slightly more, perhaps a slightly more accurate meaning. Yes, Marco, you got it. It's when you're motivated to actually do some harm. So malicious is pretty, wicked, evil. You've got bad intentions. Yes, Nidhi. Okay. Now I'm trying to see people who haven't read for a long time. Naval, I'm not sure that I've heard your voice for quite a long time. Can you read?
Yes.
Okay. Please tell us about the fake smile.
Okay. Fake smile, thanks to Jichin. It's widely held that you can easily spot a fake smile by simply looking to the eyes. He believed that the eyes muscle only contracts when we really mean it, but we now know that most people, around 71%, can voluntarily contract the inner portion of the orbicularis oculi. A 2013 study found that simply faking one in a shop mirror makes you more likely to buy what you are trying on. There's nothing intrinsically genuine about Dutchian smiles, and evidence shows that they are easily faked, says Alan Friedland, a psychologist at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Most of us have a lot of practice. Since smiles tend to accompany greetings, we are used to politely lying about our true feelings, saying we are fine even when we are not. With these expressions fixed on our faces, and from currying favor in the courtroom to bonding with your boyfriend's nightmare parents, and even landing yourself a better job, there are plenty of good reasons to. In fact, when judged by their facial expressions alone, people are judged as most truthful when they are lying. As the American's humorist Ken Hubbard once said, if you haven't seen your wife smile at a traffic cop, you haven't seen her smile her prettiest. Drinking a toast,
Thank you.
drinking a toast in Italy, you should always look into the eyes of the others you are drinking with, in the business context especially.
Yeah, they were just comments that I made because I thought that maybe they would be of interest. Okay, intrinsically, what do you understand by intrinsically?
Intrinsically, I knew the meaning of this word, I forgot that.
Can anyone help? If we talk about something, we can talk about intrinsic value, but with basically of itself, it's and we talk about intrinsic value. Now, to curry favor is quite an interesting one because we're not talking about curry and spices or food here. So what do we do when we curry favor?
Curry favor. One second. Where is it? Okay. This expression fixed on our faces, and from currying favor in the courtroom to bonding with your boyfriend's nightmare parents, and even. I think we are just trying to fake it. You're just trying to flatter the other people.
Yes, exactly that. Okay, to suck up to somebody. Suck up is perhaps a fairly informal term, yes, but it means exactly what you said there. Yeah, when you are trying to get on the right side of somebody, to seek their approval. Yeah. So looking at the actual content of this paragraph then, it's quite interesting, isn't it? How we smile, especially when we're greeting people, and not necessarily smile because we're happy to see them. And this is why I made the comment along the lines of the business context, because you feel that you're obliged to smile. Yes, you're obliged to at least look friendly. These might be strangers, they might be bosses, they might be people that you don't particularly like, but you're still going to smile at them. Yeah. Okay. Let's think about how we can tell if the smile is actually authentic. Do you all understand the word authentic? Aha, people in the market have to smile a lot. Yes. Yes, good. Okay, original or real? Yes, real, not fake. Yeah. Okay, who would like to... Abhishek, would you like to read the next section? Are you able to read okay?
Hello, yeah. Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yeah. Okay, here goes. How can you tell if the smile is authentic?
Okay. How can you tell if a smile is authentic? When we encounter a face in everyday life, our brains instantly compare its geometry to thousands of others that we have encountered to see which expression it fits. Next, we think about the context. Next, we think where I am. Yeah. Next, we think about the context. Is a smile expected? Finally, automatically mimicking their face allows us to test how it makes us feel. Nedenthal warns against placing too much emphasis on context. It is important not to assume that a smile that you see in a situation that wouldn't make you smile is false. It may be genuine for this person in this culture or situation, but there are other telltale signs when they are used deliberately. Smiles may be too abrupt or too lingering or occur too soon or too long before the phrase they should accompany. There is more to a convincing smile than squinty eyes and a flash of teeth.
Okay, so what does it mean by mimicking? If you mimic?
Copy someone.
Yes. And I think we had squinty eyes before, didn't we? Do you understand what squint and squinty eyes might mean? What does
To
it mean?
just show that you are smiling, but you are not from inside.
No. If you're squinting, in fact, you might not, it might not even have anything to, yes, Dope has got it, okay. Partly closed, so when you've got more like, oh gosh, wait a minute. I'm having problems again writing, yes, there. You see, I've just put a hyphen there. So it's like, the eye is, instead of being like this, it's just like this, yeah. Okay, any vocabulary there that you weren't sure about? Okay, so let's see, Marco, would you like to read the last section, please? Are you there, Marco?
Oh, okay. I can read. Flirtatious smile. Flirtatious smile. No list would be complete without a reference to the most famous smile of all, that depicted in the Mona Lisa. For all its mystery, categorizing this vanishing smile is easy. Psychologists have known for decades that Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece captures an act of flirtation. His sitter smiles radiantly while gazing into the distance. Then risks a sideways glance and an embarrassed smile before quickly looking away again. So the next time someone tells you to smile, remember it's up to you which one you choose.
Okay, so what does it mean by flirt, Marco?
Flirt is it's like when I know about, maybe it's just one case of flirting, like when opposite sex taking on a conversation, and one of the participants of this conversation try to appeal somehow, using some, I don't know, words to appeal to this, to opposite person, to get some benefits of this.
I'm not sure that we will talk about flirt meaning anything else, really. It really is someone being a little bit cheeky and playful to arouse somebody from the opposite sex, usually. We don't normally talk. I mean, if you have a girl who is being flirtatious, she will be teasing a guy. Now, she might be that sort of character, but we would never really think of it as, she wouldn't be flirting to another girl, for example. It really is to the opposite sex, or to arouse sexual interest, because obviously it might not be necessarily to the opposite sex, but it really is with the intention to arouse sexual interest. Yeah. So the Mona Lisa is seen to be very flirtatious in the way that she smiles. Yeah. Okay. And what does it mean by whimsical? So I'm not quite sure where that is. It must be. Where is it?
I can't find it, but
trying to find it, and perhaps I imagined it. Why did I put whimsical? Okay, whimsical is, okay, that's very strange. I don't know why then I put whimsical. Because whimsical is similar in a sense, but perhaps with less of the sexual undertones, because it's sort of a playful or a slightly humorous expression, and we talk about endearing, so it's cute, it's nice. Yeah. Now, enigmatic, what does enigmatic mean? That's in the caption of the picture.
Enigmatic mean like enigma, probably derived from enigma, when something is maybe mysterious or something.
Yes, exactly. And you've done the right thing by thinking of words that you know that it's similar to, and that's exactly right. Okay, that's very good. Now I'll put the text on the forum, on the social groups, so that you can read and you can see all of the vocabulary. There was a rather nice piece that Emmanuel added to Smiles, which was actually very poetic when he explores some of these smiles. And although he hasn't joined us in the conversation, I think he found reading the article quite interesting. And I have to say that for me, and on Wednesday, what we will do is read a bit about porridge. I need to have a look at whether or not whether I've got enough for the whole session. Maybe we will look a little bit at going straight. But porridge is a series that I think I agree with Marco. Probably one of the funniest that I've seen. I think maybe for me, Fawlty Towers probably just beats it in terms of the amount of laughing that I get out of it. Yeah. No, not 40. We're talking about, I'm always 40. Oh, yes, it's 40 Towers, like this. 40 Towers, there are only 12 episodes. Unfortunately, they only made one series, and it is probably the most hilarious comedy the BBC has ever come out with. It is, I sometimes, when I watch these, and I've watched many of the episodes many times, and I have to sit on the floor to stop falling off my chair. So I think if you have not seen these, Marco, you will love them. It is British humour at its most hilarious. Porridge. Well, Porridge, Ronnie Barker is my most favourite comedian. Sadly, he died in the 1990s, I think. But again, everything that he has produced, I found extremely funny. It might be possible to find on YouTube The Two Ronnies. And The Two Ronnies was a very successful comedy series that used to be on every week for quite a long time, with Ronnie Barker and Ronnie Corbett, and hence The Two Ronnies. And it would be a comedy that with lots of little short items in it. So there would be lots of small gags. Yeah. Morecambe and Wise was a similar, I'm not sure if I've spelled, oh yeah, maybe it's spelled that way. Morecambe and Wise was a similar TV comedy series, which again, they would be short skits, short jokes, and very, very amusing. So these, I'm sure you should be able to find on YouTube, because these are exactly the sort of thing that YouTube shows. When I tried to find the Two Ronnies, I think I could find maybe one episode that was on YouTube, but for Porridge. But I think with Porridge, because it is so popular, or maybe I've not found the right place to look at it, it's probably not quite so easy to download legally. I don't know. I tend to think that if I look at something on YouTube, that it's passed all the tests, because I notice how YouTube quite often take off programs that perhaps have been challenged because of copyright. But the BBC has to earn some money, and they still make a lot of money selling the rights to be able to watch The Two Ronnies. I'm looking at the screen here and I'm seeing Two Ronnies, I mean Porridge. One thing that I did discover, though, which I think I may have mentioned, I've already set up a short introduction to Wednesday's discussion, is that they made a one-off of Porridge, which is last year, which is showing the grandson of Fletcher having to go to jail and his experience. And I understand that they are going to make a new series of Porridge with this younger character, probably in the coming year. So I'm going to look out for that. So I've put a short introduction with one or two links, and I think a link to one of the trailers for Porridge, for those of you that have never come across what I'm talking about and would like to hear. I've also put a short vocabulary of, and I mean, it's by no means complete, but some of the most common words that you will hear in porridge that are not your normal vocabulary. They are really technical prison terms, if you like. I also did a little bit of research, and obviously in America there's a huge amount of prison language. But there was one website I found, which I think I put a link to, which is your prison language for the UK. So you might, if you want to watch this, have a look at some of the vocabulary before you watch it. Yeah. So I think we've probably finished with smiling for today. Have a look on the social. We've got the Mars and we've got the wars. I'm not sure that I put anything in fads because fads is Friday and we're continuing from the Monday. But if you just have a look to see when things are posted under either fads, Mars or wars, then you should be able to see what we've been reading. And for Friday, if anyone has any suggestions, I think we could have probably two sessions for reading something Friday and Monday. Next Monday I'm around, but then I'm afraid I'm having to go to London for a week, and I have no idea where or what I'll be doing on the days when we have sessions. So it won't be until I get back. So we've got 2 sessions, Friday and Monday, and if anyone has any suggestions, otherwise I'm sure I can find something. Anyway, bye for now and enjoy having a look at porridge.